Hey, what's up, guys? Houston here. Look, here's some credit cards. I'm going to tell you if you have a fair credit score, okay? So fair credit score is usually hovering about a 580, 660 credit score, right? So these are the credit cards that I would probably take a look at, all right? Now, you have the Divvy, which now is Bill.com, all right? Now, the reason that I would apply for the Divvy card, again, because it's not going to be a hard pull on your credit file. So you're able to see if you actually qualify. Now, they go off of what's in your business bank account. Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you that a lot of people don't have that really gets them jammed up when it comes to business funding, all right? And that's in terms of they may not have ever filed the taxes, and they don't have payroll. So if you need payroll, I can definitely help you with that by clicking the link in the description. But those are some of the biggest factors, especially people, if you're trying to get 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, you actually have to produce more paperwork. Now, one of the things I continue to tell people is don't try to go to one bank and get all of the funding. You need to spread it out. All right. So now another card that you want to look at is, again, the Capital One card, the Capital One Spark card. Reason all you need is a 580 credit score. And again, like I said in the other videos, is that you can get a Capital One Spark credit card. All right. If you had an old account with Capital One over 1 year old that's charged off, you still have a higher chance of being approved. Okay, you still have a higher chance of being approved. All right. Now, that being said, and one of the things that people don't like about Capital One, and I agree with them, is that with Capital One, because they pull all three credit bureaus, right? And you don't want to be dinged for all three credit bureaus. So you actually can, so you actually can lock up one or two of your credit files. All right. So that being said, the next credit card you may want to look at is Fair Figure. Now, here's the interesting thing about Fair Figure. Fair Figure is a credit bureau platform, and they report to Experian Business, Equifax Business, Small Business Financial Exchange, Credit Safe. Okay, so they report to the main ones. Now, here's the thing about it. They offer a business credit card. Now, their thing is that you have to have a Fundex score. Your Fundex score has to be at least a 30. Okay, so that means that your revenue, you have to have revenue in the business, because they're not going to look at the personal credit. It has nothing to do. They look at the revenue in the business. So if you're making at least $2,000 to $2,500 a month, and you haven't missed any payments on any of your accounts and stuff, then that helps you get that Fundex 30 score, right? So that way you're able to get funding from them. Now, they give you credit limits anywhere from $500 up to $500,000, all right? But it has nothing to do with the personal credit, all right? Now, also NAV offers a credit card and stuff like that, but it turns out to be a charge card, but it has nothing to do with the credit. All right. So like I said, I'm trying to help you find credit card accounts that actually report to the business credit bureau, so you can stack up those to build up your business credit file, so that you can go to some of the major lenders. All right. Now, here's you also have Corpay. Okay. So here's the thing with Corpay. They report to Experian Business, Equifax Business, as well as Dun & Bradstreet. Now, the thing about it with Corpay is that you need a 600 credit score, and they pull your FICO 8 Experian. All right. So just keep that in mind. Now, here's a trick. Whenever a company pulls your credit profile and put a hard inquiry on it, and it's for a business account, you can call in to the not the dispute department, it's your fraud department of the credit bureau. You call into the fraud department, and what happens, you let them know that, hey, this here account is not associated with any of my personal accounts. Okay, was a business account. And usually what ends up happening, they will remove that hard inquiry on the file. Okay, So that's just a quick tip that may help you with that. Now, in terms of, let's say Capital One Tap. Capital One Tap offers you a business credit card. Now, here's the challenge with Capital One Tap. For people that are DBA, they won't service you. You have to be a S Corp, LLC, a regular corporation in order for them to service you. Now, again, they're not looking at the personal credit. What they're doing, they're looking at the transactions in the business bank accounts. Now, here's the thing about it with Capital One. You have to be very careful about. Capital One Tap, you have to be very careful about. With Capital One Tap, they will give you a credit limit, right? All right. So then once you start utilizing that credit limit, they may double back around about 90 days or so and say, hey, do you mind sending us over some invoices to show proof of transactions? Or they may say, I also need pay stubs. Again, this is why I tell you guys, you always want to have paperwork on deck. That's the reason I said we can help you with the pay stubs, because you have to have that paperwork on deck. Because if you don't, they end up closing down the card. Now, another card, again, even with American Express, did you know that you can get an American Express with a 660 credit score? Even if you have a collection on your file, American Express will give you a credit card. But here's the thing about it. Now, especially on the business side, and I want you to understand this. When you get, most people go for their charge cards. And I always tell people, stay away from the charge cards, because what ends up happening, people will get a charge card and American Express will tell them their limit. All right. So they're excited about that. But then American Express will tell you, oh, check your spending power. Every time like you pay your bill or you log in, check your spending power. Right. But the thing about it, when you check your spending power, how much you can actually utilize and your actual balance on it, if you check it multiple times, this will create a financial review. Now, with that financial review, guess what? You're stuck because you have to produce pay stubs and taxes. Like I said, we can help with the pay stubs, but taxes is a different situation. So that's the reason we actually tell people, do not check that. Like I said, you can check it every 90 days or something like that. You know, because that's when you can actually ask for a credit limit increase. As a matter of fact, this is another thing you want to do when dealing with American Express. When you're trying to request a credit limit increase, you only want to request a credit limit increase, 3 times the amount they already given you, right? So if they already gave you $5,000, you want to just multiply that times 3. That's how much you want a credit limit increase of. Do not go over that, okay? Because they will deny you. But that's your safe zone, okay? Now, for those of you that may have questions about business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off of the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. I hope this video helps you. Thank you.